Hey guys, happy Tuesday here. Just wanted to go over our 3 activities from today that you need to get completed. The first activity was She Persisted, part 1. This was a video, or it's parts of a book called She Persisted, about 13 American women who struggled to make a difference but persisted and persevered. And so I want you to listen to the 5 women that are in part 1, and I want you to really reflect on how they struggled and what they did to persevere. Then use the notes, the video, or the drawing tool to share how you think one of them struggled and what helped to keep them going. What motivated them to keep trying? For English Language Arts today, ELA, we continued working on main idea and supporting details. We looked at the difference between a regular detail and a supporting detail that helps hold up the main idea. And so here's an activity from Mr. McKinney that you go through this story about Jalen, where the main idea is that he wants to set a new record for eating the most hot dogs. At the end of it, we did have some notes, so please make sure you get those written in. They are saved in the activity, I believe. So if you come here in the activity, you are going to be sorting the difference between which one is just a normal detail and which is an important detail that supports this main idea. Here are the notes that we took. Please make sure you get them written down in your ELA journal. For math today, we started a brand new topic that will be brand new to most of you, and that is rounding. And we took 3 pages of notes today. So I know that there was a lot of trouble with getting on Zoom for our math time today, so please make sure you go through and you watch our Zoom recording. But in case you missed it, the notes that we took are here. This is page 1. Rounding, which is estimating a number by changing 1 or more digits to 0 for easier calculations. And calculations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We use benchmark numbers, which when we're rounding to 10 is the nearest 10, or if we're rounding to 100, the nearest 100. The midpoint number is the number halfway between 2 benchmark numbers. So if you're rounding to the nearest 10, your midpoint number is going to be 5. If you're rounding to the nearest 100, your midpoint number is going to be 50. And then we did 2 practices of creating the roller coasters with taking our number, looking, okay, we're rounding it to the nearest 10, which is right here, is 6 tens. So 60 is our first benchmark number, and the higher benchmark number is 10 more, which is 70. And then we went and filled in all the rest of them with our midpoint number being that 5, 65. We saw that 63 is on this side, 4 or less, and we roll back down to 60. We do not roll forward to 70. So 63 rounds to the nearest 10 of 60. The next example was when we rounded 587 to the nearest hundreds. So 5 hundreds is what the number has. So our first benchmark number is 500. The next 100 counted by hundreds, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 is the next benchmark. So we had 500 and 600. And when we're rounding to hundreds, our benchmark is 50. So 550 is our midpoint number. And we're using the tens place to round to the hundreds, the next one. So here, these benchmark numbers between here are 510, 520, 530, 540, 550, 560, 570, 580, 590, and 600. 587 has 500s and 8 tens. So I'm going to go to the number that has 500s and 8 tens and put my person there on the roller coaster. They're all the way on this side of the roller coaster, so they're going to go forward to 600. So 587 rounds to 600 by hundreds. So here there is a lesson about 17 minutes long. It's a really good lesson from Mrs. Sousa. So if you missed her Zoom recording, go through this and she'll go through more examples with you. Then on your activity for the day, you're going to be using the rounding chart to explain this. Each of these has the steps on it. You're going to start, it'll tell you round 63 to the nearest 10. So you're going to record your number here and your benchmark numbers. and then you're going to fill in the rest of the roller coaster. You're going to circle the correctly rounded number. This is what we did on our practice. So remember to look for the place value, get the benchmarks, and decide which benchmark is closer to the number. 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, up the score.